Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today, CYH just filed their latest 8K report, and I am seeing a few things about their shareholder meeting that tell a story. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. The big news from this filing is how their shareholders voted on key company matters, and the results show a strong endorsement for the current leadership and the company's direction. Alright, let's dive into what happened at Community Health Systems Incorporated's recent annual meeting of stockholders. This report, filed on May 13th, 2026, covers the events of May 12th, and it is all about what the owners of the company, the shareholders, decided. Think of it like a report card for the company's management and board of directors, showing if the investors are happy. Community Health Systems Incorporated, a big player in healthcare facilities, held its annual meeting. At these meetings, shareholders get to vote on important things. This filing tells us exactly how those votes went down for 3 key proposals. The actual meeting where the voting happened was on May 12th, 2026. This report is just informing the public and the sexy about the results a day later. The first big item on the agenda was the election of the board of directors. These are the people who oversee the company's strategy and make sure it is run well. Shareholders voted to keep most, if not all, of the current directors in place for another year. Looking at the numbers, it is pretty clear there was strong support for each of the nominees. For example, Susan W. Brooks received over 81 million votes for her position, with only about 2.8 million votes against. This kind of margin is a clear sign of confidence from the shareholders. The same pattern holds true for all the nominated directors, including Lieutenant General Ronald L. Burgess Jr., John A., Clerico, and all the way down the list to H. James Williams, PhD. It seems the investors are comfortable with the team currently guiding Community Health Systems Incorporated. The table shows the breakdown for each director. We see a huge number of for votes, significantly outweighing the against votes. Then there are the abstain votes, which means shareholders chose not to vote on that specific director, and broker non-votes, broker non. Votes happen when a broker holding shares for a client doesn't have instructions on how to vote those shares. Even with those considered, the for votes are overwhelmingly dominant for every single director. This indicates widespread approval of the current board. Next up was a vote on executive compensation. This is often called a say on pay vote. It is a chance for shareholders to give their opinion on how much the top executives are being paid. Again, the results here are very positive for the company's management. The proposal to approve the compensation packages for the top executives received a strong majority of for votes, with over 81.7 million votes in favor compared to about 1.8 million votes against. This suggests that shareholders believe the compensation is reasonable and aligned with the company's performance or strategy. The numbers here are quite telling. The for votes are massive compared to the against votes, indicating strong shareholder backing for the executive compensation plans. A little over 1.8 million votes were against it. This is a relatively small number when you consider the total number of shares outstanding. The final key vote was about ratifying the appointment of Deloitte and Touch LLP as the company's independent auditors. These are the folks who check the company's financial statements to make sure they are accurate and fair. Shareholders overwhelmingly approve this appointment, with over 110 million votes in favor and only about 351,000 votes against. This is a very high level of endorsement for the auditing firm. It means the shareholders trust Deloitte and Touch LLP to do a thorough job in reviewing the company's finances. The results for the auditor ratification are almost universally positive. Over 110 million votes were cast in favor of keeping Deloitte and Touch LLP. The few opposing votes and abstentions are almost negligible in comparison. This is a common outcome, as shareholders generally defer to the board's choice for auditors unless there is a major reason for concern. And finally, we have the signatures confirming that the company is officially reporting these results. This section just formalizes the filing. This document is signed by Christopher G. Cobb, who holds the position of Vice President, Legal and Corporate Secretary for Community Health Systems Incorporated. His signature on May 13th, 2026 seals the report, looking at the overall picture from this filing. It is clear that shareholders had a very positive view of the company's leadership and its proposed direction at the annual meeting. The overwhelming support for director elections, executive compensation, and the appointment of auditors suggests a stable and confident shareholder base. This aligns with recent news about hospital sales strengthening their turnaround story, indicating that investors are perhaps seeing positive developments. While the company did report a Q1 loss and missed revenue estimates earlier this year, this vote seems to indicate that shareholders believe in the long-term strategy and the team executing it. The next step to monitor would be future financial reports to see if this shareholder confidence translates into improved financial performance. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. Like, comment, subscribe, and join our Discord for more.